Right on time for Matters Business. This is WTV Business Recap. Always a pleasure being your host. My name is Elijah Mwangi. Here we shall be looking at matters cutting in the world of business every Friday. And so today I just want us to start with the insurance sector, bearing in mind that we just had the Africa Insurance and Reinsurance Conference that was held here in Kenya. So let's listen to what the captains of industry had to say concerning this particular story. The report released by World Bank in 2015 predicted that Kenya was poised for more rapid economic growth than any other sub-Saharan African country and was projected to grow at a rate of 6% in 2015. This growth was to be supported by low energy cost, investment in infrastructure, jobs, agriculture, manufacturing, and other industries. For those in the insurance sector, this growth means business. The insurance business in Kenya is profitable, but it's not necessarily easy. Kenya represents one of the Africa's most well-developed and best regulated insurance markets, with formidable historic growth and even better near-term prospects.
Insurance in Kenya has a positive growth compared to the regional neighbours. It's way ahead. There are a number of reasons for that. One is the entrepreneurial and the innovation spirit in Kenya. We're seeing a lot of innovation which is disrupting traditional insurance. That is driving access to insurance because Kenya is also unique in that we have a large middle class, a diaspora, and more disposable income. So these people have new demands and they need new products and new ways to access insurance. So this innovation and disruption is a key driver. Also, there's an appetite to enhance insurance regulation, to strengthen it, to make it more trustworthy and give more robust controls around consumer protection. So this is a very important trend as well. Kenya has higher insurance penetration than Nigeria, almost triple. Now, penetration is not the only way to measure insurance. You can look at density of coverage and numbers of premium. But the markets are very similar. They both have mature risk management. They both have stronger regulations than other countries. They have the innovation and they have the appetite to innovate. And the challenges are very similar in how do you serve your customers, how do you maximize on your delivery.
In recent years, insurance penetration and accessibility has been improving steadily in Kenya. The middle class is growing, more Kenyans have disposable income, and there is potential for new demand for insurance. All in all, as compared to some countries such as South Africa, insurance sector in Kenya has a long way to go.
Yeah, the challenge really is to close this trust deficit gap, which we say people still don't trust insurance enough. It factors why they don't buy insurance. So we have to really improve on delivery, pay claims quickly and fairly. You can only do that if you enhance your products, your pricing, your underwriting. We also have to overcome cultural challenges unique to Africa, such as informal insurance. And we also have to recognise that most insurance is still transacted in the large centres like Nairobi, Mombasa, Dar es Salaam, Addis, Lagos, Accra, etc. How do you reach people who live in villages, who live in rural areas? How can you give them products that entice them to buy it with the trust and confidence that when it matters, then you'll deliver on your promise?
Remember, the agency in this country are over 6,000 licensed and an equal number unlicensed. That's a big number at any time to be ignored. At the end of the day, we can say that with the formation of the association, the many problems that agencies to tackle are actually being handled. Things like agents losing business, for example, to brokers or other agents losing business to insurance companies, agents not actually getting their commissions on time or even not getting their commissions at all. Things like insurance agents generally not getting not getting value for money, so to speak, for their services in the insurance industry.
The last 2 or 3 years, particularly in Kenya, quite a lot of mergers and acquisitions. Two companies who have come in, Allianz and Prudential. Prudential acquired a license. Allianz actually came in greenfield, so they purchased a brand new license. And there is a buzz around East Africa, and it's undoubted that people are looking at East Africa. And Allianz and Prudential will probably disrupt some of the ways that we do things, and we could very well see more mergers, acquisitions, or consolidations.
Penetration cannot be achieved without getting the input of the insurance agent and what the agent sees can be done especially as regards his welfare. Because remember, you take care of the agent's welfare, the more hardworking it's going to be, and the more penetration is going to be achieved. That's what we believe in as insurance agents.
Kenya has a very bright future for insurance because, as I said earlier, there's an appetite, there's a buzz, it's growing, it's moving in the right direction. We just need to take it to the next level. That requires investment, collaboration, and that will drive this transformation. But it's very well positioned to take advantage of the unique dynamics we have in East Africa, the young population, the large middle class, the technological savvy people. So now is the time to actually turn things to the next level.
The future of insurance in Kenya is very, very bright. You can be sure of that. Signified by the kind of insurance companies that are coming to this country to buy into the existing companies, and to also insurance companies themselves getting mergers from outside of Kenya. The reason why companies are doing that is they see the potential, and they see the unexploited potential, so to speak. Because if you talk about penetration right now, after the rebasing of the GDP is something like 2.8%. Countries like South Africa at 15%. What does that mean for the industry? There's so much opportunity.
A number of major infrastructure plans have created investment opportunities in insurance. According to Association of Kenya Insurers figures, life insurance penetration is 1.2% of GDP and general insurance about twice that, bringing the total to 3.44% in 2013. This measure of insurance penetration dropped to 2.93% in 2014 after GDP was rebased with a 25% increase. Worldwide, insurance penetration is about 6.5% of GDP, so Kenyan insurers say that there is a great room for growth.
If you compare it to South Africa, for example, the market in Kenya is less developed, insurance penetration is lower in Kenya, but that's not really a fair comparison because South Africa is a much more developed, much more sophisticated market, so it's not a fair comparison with South Africa. So if you compare against Nigeria, for example, I think that's a fairer comparison between Kenya and Nigeria. The Kenyan market has better insurance penetration and it's more advanced in terms of things like regulation, and just generally a more sophisticated market development. So it stands ahead of Nigeria, say, and many other countries. So Kenya stands very well compared to many other African countries. I think some of the challenges, one of the key challenges is low insurance penetration. So in other words, not enough insurance being bought by the market compared to the size of the economy. And that one of the key aspects there is the level of poverty in the country. So that would need to change. But insurers, I think, are trying to address those challenges and meet the needs of customers. And I think that's the key thing, meeting the needs of customers in the market.
The untapped potential is really the bottom end of the LSM, which means the lower end of the pyramid. We believe that from an affordability perspective, there's a bit of a paradox. Most of people below the LSM do have and are able to afford, but they may not necessarily be able to afford the frequency or the current traditional premium frequencies. So we believe that if we're able to break the frequencies to make them affordable, for example, on a daily basis, I strongly believe that's going to increase the penetration in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa as a whole.
Yeah, one of the key things here, we've seen a lot of activity on mergers and acquisition in the market over the last few years. A lot of interest from both in transactions happening internally, but also foreign interest as well. But despite all that, there are still a large number of companies in the market, and the market is still relatively small. So you have about 50 companies in quite a small market. So that means the market is quite fragmented, quite competitive.
Thank you so much for watching Business Recap. That's all that we had time for, and thank you so much for watching. But remember, you can always join this conversation online. You'll find us at WTVK, provided use the hashtag Business Recap so that you're in a position to track your conversation. I've been your host, Elijah Mwangi, and I just want to leave you with some business quote here related to matters insurance. Now, quote unquote, truth lasts forever, but lies have expiry dates. Think about that. See you next time.